Hello and welcome to the COP 4. As you can see, Jamie is away today, so I've been called up on hosting duties. And you know what? I couldn't have asked for a better episode for this to happen because we have our very first guest on. It's the GOAT, the icon, the legend, Jonathan Morley. Can we get a round of applause, boys?
Welcome, Jonathan.
Welcome, Jonathan. What an absolute legend.
How you doing, mate?
I'm good. Obviously, I would be better if things were going a little bit better for Liverpool, but ultimately, thanks very much for having me on, lads. I'm really happy to be here, and I'm looking forward to the chat.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to have you on, mate. Make sure you guys in the comments to drop your comments down below throughout the stream. We'll get to them at some point. Like, subscribe too, all of that good stuff. Obviously, before we get into all things Liverpool, there was Champions League semi-finals this week. I'll actually come to you, Jonathan, straight away because I know you're a dedicated Arsenal hater. Did you watch the game on Tuesday? If so, what did you make of it?
It was the worst Champions League semi-final I've ever seen. It just was in terms of. I actually think the first leg wasn't that bad. It was actually somewhat kind of watchable. There was kind of a lot more chances for both teams maybe than I would have expected. But that second leg was shocking. Look, I think Atletico should have had a penalty in the second half. If Simeone goes down as well when he gets past the keeper, he probably gets a penalty for that. I think it should be given anyway because it is a foul. He is stopping him from tapping the ball in, Gabriel. But no, in terms of after Arsenal scored that goal, it was always going to be like that from an Arteta point of view. And like we're going to be watching the best team in the world in the final. We're going to be watching the nicest, the best team to watch as well. It's just a pity that Arsenal are going to be there because, Arteta is going to just drag it down and ruin it.
What did you boys think of it?
I don't know which game was worse, to be completely honest, out of the two games. To be fair, obviously talking about PSG, we'll get onto them in a bit. They were quite good, but Arsenal they're such a bad watch, aren't they? Like every time I got to watch them, I tried to think maybe today they could prove different. Maybe they could do something a little bit different, but no, they never do. They always sit back and look, as Marley said, that Atletico should have had two penalties. I just don't understand why Simeone took off Griezmann and Alvarez at the same time. I thought that was really bad management from him and something that I'd never thought I'd see him do, considering he's such a well-established manager in the game. It just felt like such an amateur thing to do, to take off two of your best attacking players who actually were playing quite well in the game, constantly a threat for Arsenal. It was a bit surprising.
Yeah, and to bring Alexander Saul on as well, by the way. I've not watched him since he played for Palace, and he was crap then. He's not improved.
I forgot he played for Palace.
Yeah, there's a reason clearly why he didn't work in the Premier League. He is awful. He had that. He had a chance. I only watched the second half of the game, but he had that chance pulled back to him. Like 85th minute or something. And it's such a clear opportunity, and he just scuffs it. He's so poor. He's actually worse. We give a lot of slander to Gyökeres throughout the season, but Gyökeres is actually like 20 times the player that Saul is. Didn't Saul finish as the La Liga top scorer in one of the last few seasons? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he was right up there,
move. That's what, Saul is terrible. That's what got him the move. I think was he at Sociedad or something like that? He got the move to Atletico. He's crap. Also, Ademola Lookman as well. I didn't see too much of him in the second half, but from the first leg, he's living off that Europa League final. He's awful.
Yeah,
Atletico don't have anything, really, do they? Apart from Alvarez and Griezmann. But even then, Griezmann's past his best.
I was underwhelmed massively by Atletico. I think you do need to give Arsenal some credit. They've done what they needed to do to get to a final, I guess. But they will have their work cut out against PSG. Brian mentioned there. It wasn't the best game against Bayern Munich. But again, I think you saw a different side to PSG, don't you think? I think they were quite professional and mature in their performance.
To be honest, I just think you're seeing the best team in world football. Potentially, they are going to put their name alongside that three-peat Real Madrid team, for me, as one of the best sides we've ever seen. I just think they're so good. They have so many different elements to their game. Even watching that clip today of someone trying to break down Enrique's plan and the way that they were going to just lock out Elise and everything like that, I was just like, wow. Like, this is just a different level manager altogether. This is the best manager in the world right now, for being completely honest.
Was he the one who created the kickoff tactic as well? Now that everybody uses Enrique, you know, the one where they just boot it out at the start for a goal kick.
Yeah.
I think they were the first.
That was the Spain side, wasn't it?
Was it? See, I don't know, but yeah, I didn't watch the PSG second leg, so you boys will have to fill me in on that.
Well, the PSG Bayern Munich attackers were very poor, I thought. Luis Diaz, pretty quiet on Diaz this week, Brian.
Listen, I will say though, I didn't actually think he was that bad yesterday. I thought he was probably Bayern's best attacking player through most of the game. Elise had his worst game, I'd say, for Bayern. I'm not going to say I'm an avid watcher of Bayern, but every time I see him, he's lighting up the pitch. But yesterday he was so quiet. Kane obviously gets the goal, but thought he was quite quiet as well. I thought Diaz was trying to make things happen, always cutting in on that right foot and kind of getting a shot off or working something. So I don't think he needs any slander. I wanted him to win it just for him. I love Luis Diaz.
What do you make of that, Jonathan? That's because we were discussing this last week about the Diaz potential revisionism over his Liverpool career. What do you think of it?
I think I seen you post a video about it, Max. And it is, it's fine to say now in hindsight, but realistically back then it was a good deal. And just because he has been as good as he has been at Bayern Munich doesn't mean that it still wasn't a good deal. Do you know what I mean? But no, he is a really good player. I think it would have been interesting to see what he would have done at Liverpool. Would he have made kind of a big difference this season? I'm not sure because look, realistically, when we look back at what he was last season, it made more than enough sense to sell him. I think there was a stage last season where he didn't score for 16 games or something like that.
3 months.
He started seasons well before. He's kind of fallen off kind of after that. Ultimately, you go to the Bundesliga, obviously. I think you get a lot more chances, especially in a team like Bayern. There's a lot less kind of physicality than the Premier League. I think it's kind of stemmed from how good Bayern are, especially going forward. The amount of chances that he gets, the amount of goals and everything that he's done even has translated to the Champions League. That bit of confidence, Premier League is obviously so much more difficult and he wasn't getting the same space. So look, I think it was a good deal, and the fact that he's done as well as he has at Bayern doesn't change it really.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that we're missing is not actually anything that he was doing on the ball, but it's just his off the ball work, isn't it? That's probably the biggest difference this season. The only thing I've actually seen of the PSG Bayern tie was a clip of Diaz on Twitter. Don't know if any of you saw it. You probably would have saw it in the game, but he's trying to it said this clip basically just sums up Luis Diaz. He's taking his man on down the left. He works it quite well, but then he just spoons the ball into row K, probably not row Z, not too high, but just high and wide. But that's exactly what it was. And I think the revisionism comes from him having so much space in the Bundesliga to just one-on-one. He's obviously an incredible player. Even in the Champions League, there was that goal he scored for Porto in the Champions League. Was that the Etihad? I don't know if you
when he ran all across.
When he's got that space ahead of him, and even his best games for Liverpool. In terms of ball carrying and stuff, I remember that clip, where he takes the ball 70 yards past Rodri, Walker, twice, and then wins us a corner. They're probably his biggest strengths when he does have space ahead of him. But when he does play those top defenders, low blocks, so they're difficult to break down, and you've actually got to work the ball.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. And I never rated Diaz in that element.
See, I just got back to my point, and I'm going to die on this hill, and I don't mind it. But it's just that we had... Wherever you rank Luis Diaz, I'm sure we can all agree he is the top 3 left wingers in the world, especially right now. But I think last year, currently, but I think even last year you probably would have said it's Vinicius, Kvaratskhelia, and then Diaz, whatever way you want to rank them. And I just think for a business side, we've definitely done the right thing to sell him. I get it completely with the age, the price. You're not going to get a better price for him. He obviously wanted high wages for the age he's at. But looking on the football side, you let one of your top 3 left wingers in the world go, not replace them, and you're losing literally that outlet out on the left, which I think we've lacked so much, and we don't have with a Cody Gakpo, or even obviously we did not have time, but Nekatike off the left doesn't even provide close to that outlet that Diaz did.
Do you not think him being like top 3 left wingers in the world, arguably, I'd argue that maybe Gakpo had a good season last year. Maybe you can see Tony Gakpo in that top 3. Diaz played quite a lot centrally, but anyway, that's not the point I was going to make. Do you not think that actually shows how poor the quality of left wingers are? Like, if you look at right wing, you've got...
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You look at right wing, you've got like Yamal, Saka, Salah... God, there's so many that you can list off. Elise, but on the left, there's a real lack of quality. Apart from Kvaratskhelia, I wouldn't say there's any like world. Obviously, they technically are world class because they are top in that position. But in terms of they go into different eras and smash it, I feel like it's only Kvaratskhelia really. I don't really rate Vinicius Junior personally.
I just think era like you said, it's a different era. Football has just changed again, and like left wingers aren't like your Sadio Mane's or maybe like a Leroy Sané of like 5-6 years ago. So now you rely less on their goals. You probably rely more on them as an actual tricky winger and someone that's direct. So I definitely think it is, when you compare it to the right wingers on that side, and you have Salah, who's obviously just a league of his own in terms of goal scoring numbers as a right winger. But so I definitely think it's different, but I still think it is a top 3 left winger in the world. Whether you think the quality of left wingers now is completely different than 5 years ago is irrelevant to the point that I think we did get rid of the top 3 left winger.
I think as well there's with some players, as far back as you want to go, but especially currently, when somebody kind of gets that move, you can see a player that you didn't maybe see before he got that move. Do you know what I mean? I think that's definitely happened with Diaz. I mentioned the confidence thing earlier, but I think he's kind of shown what he's about. Sometimes a certain club, sometimes a certain league suits somebody, down to the ground. I think that's been the case with Diaz, as Liam said there as well, about coming up against teams with low blocks and parking the bus when you need to find kind of those bits of space when you're not getting the ball as much. He did struggle. So I think it was the right move for him, and he's definitely proved that.
I definitely don't miss his dad anyway.
Bundesliga attacks is a real thing. I know we've discussed that over the past couple of weeks, but PSG's attack for me showed that they are the best in the world. Doué last night was incredible, but this is something I mentioned in the video that I uploaded earlier. Who would you actually want to watch from a purely entertainment perspective out of that PSG front 3? Because for me, it is actually Doué, but I'd say the other 2 are better players overall. Interesting to see what you guys think of that.
I'd say Kvara.
I'd say Kvara.
Really?
Yeah.
I think Dembele, when Dembele actually plays wide, like in that earlier part where Enrique had just joined, was it the season before they won the Champions League, I think. I don't
23-24.
Yeah, potentially. Did they play Barca? I think they played Barca in a game, and I remember Vitinha scoring. I don't know if that was 22-23 or 23-24, but he was electric. Like even when he was at Dortmund, you know what I mean? Like he was quality when he used to play out wide, because he can just take it both ways, can't he? Now he's obviously adapted his game a little more to be able to drop deep and things like that, and now he's got a lot of space ahead of him to run into, like we talked about with Diaz. But yeah, when he was wide, then he could take it left, he can take it right. I genuinely don't know what foot he is. Do you?
No, he's
both
different feet. It's crazy ability. But he did actually play
with different feet.
I swear against who did they play? Well, who did he score a penalty in the first leg? Yeah, he took it with his right foot, but I'm sure he took his penalty at Anfield last year with his left foot.
Really?
I could be wrong. But
he is such a good footballer just on the eye. Like me and my mate a couple of years ago went to Barcelona to watch their Europa League quarterfinal against Frankfurt, and he started that game. And we were about saying, like, watching him as an actual footballer, oh my God, incredible. But it was after 40 minutes, he just completely gassed out. Like, he wouldn't run anymore. He was getting ball to feet and making, like, lazy passes and doing all this. And you're just like, wow, that probably sums him up completely as a footballer. And it's funny enough, like, even me saying that now, because he spoke about recently how Luis Enrique basically told him, you press, you work hard, or you don't play for me. It's simple as that. And that's what he's done now. And he's just a phenomenal footballer. Like,
yeah, he's matured so well, man. He's a quality player, world class, undoubtedly. Obviously, that sets up the final: PSG versus Arsenal. Do you guys actually think Arsenal can win it? Are we in danger here?
No.
Yeah, they can definitely win it. I think they can. You don't think they have a chance of winning it?
I mean, like it's a final. It's a final, so anything can happen. I mean, I was saying there earlier in 2005, even Stevie G said it last night.
Yeah.
Obviously the most unlikely of unlikely, and it actually did happen. So it is a final, so anything can happen. So we are in danger somewhat just because it's a final, but realistically, as Brian said there, I can't see it happening. I can't.
No.
It is unlikely.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can even look at Chelsea beating City as well a couple of years ago. Like nobody expected that. You know what I mean? There have been a lot of
Pep overthinks finals though.
Say again.
Pep overthought that final completely. I don't think Luis Enrique is that naive when it comes to coming into a game. And like especially the fact that they won the Champions League last year, they know how to win it. Arteta doesn't know how to win a trophy, full stop. Maybe things will be different. By that stage, it could be league winners. I think if they win the league, potentially they have a bit more momentum.
Yeah,
but
they'll be on a big high if they win the league.
But PSG rest up so much.
Yeah, that's the only issue, isn't it? When you mentioned PSG being like up there with that Real Madrid team, I was gonna say that like there has to be an asterisk next to that PSG team. They play about 80. I've seen like a stat recently, like João Neves, like Dembele. So many players have played like a total of like if you add up all their minutes, they've played like 18 league matches this season, which is just a joke. They played half a season basically, and they get games called off whenever they want, which is why, well, not why they knocked us out. They would have knocked us out. But no,
not with that manager.
The final, tactically, they probably do have a chance. But the reason I've always said Arsenal would like never win a Premier League, I knew PSG would beat them in the semi-finals last season. They're just far too emotional, and I think you saw that. After the celebrations, Arteta dancing around the pitch and things like that.
Yeah, I mean that's going to be funny to laugh at in a few weeks' time. Like, I mean, what are you doing, mate? Like, genuinely, like, I mean, did you see the video when we got to the Champions League final? When we got past
against Villarreal.
Yeah, like, I mean, like, look at Salah, look at Mane, look at Klopp, and all that. Like, I mean, it's just like as if it's just another game, whatever. It's like, lads, we haven't won anything yet, and I think a big side of that is because we were used to games of that magnitude and stuff like that, whereas Arsenal are not. But at the same time, you would say that, well, they were in a semi-final last season, so they should be. But they just shoot themselves in the face like so often, and I think that's another case of it during the week. But we know what it's like to have a Premier League title on the line and a Champions League final in the space of a week. That's gonna happen, but this time it's gonna be enjoyable. This time,
it can all go wrong. It really can. Yeah. I actually think for the final, the first goal is really important.
Yeah.
If Arsenal score that first goal, I'm not gonna lie, they might be able to keep that PSG attack at bay. And even PSG, they've shown last night, if they get their first goal, they can probably sit back and go on the counter a bit more. But yeah, I mean, I guess we'll see what happens. Fingers crossed that they don't do the double. That'll be
That's actually true as well. Big up Planet Ball in the comments. He's always in my stream. He's an absolute legend. They've beaten nobody good. Beaten nobody good. It's the worst. It's the worst run to a final ever. I mean, they'll go back to, but we beat Bayern in the league phase. There's nothing riding on that game. Do you know what I mean? There's really nothing riding on that game. Do you know, like, that can be easy. I guarantee you wouldn't beat Bayern if you played them in the knockouts, especially over two legs. It's actually insane. Like, that should have been the final, what we seen last night. Do you know what I mean? Imagine how good a one-off game would have been in the final. It's just a pity. Just a pity that, you know, it's not going to be that or near that.
I think it's still quite interesting though, because it's like, I know it was, you know, rubbish with Inter last season, but the fact it's like polarizing styles of play, I think it is pretty interesting. I think Arsenal will definitely put up a much better fight than that Inter team did. That Inter team,
I don't think they will.
3 finals. They when you look at their team, they're actually awful. But
I don't think they will. I think Arsenal will get turned over. I don't know why I'm so confident saying that. Maybe
4 or 5.
I think they could lose by 3. I think genuinely, if Arsenal concede pretty early on, PSG are just going to keep getting at that defense, and that defense will split right open and allow that PSG team in. I could see it being that way. But Max makes a really good point. The first goal matters a lot, and if Arsenal score that first goal, I think it could be that sort of game that it's tight and
they'll sit in, won't they?
They'll make it difficult.
They'll sit in and play on the counter and just hope for the best. So I agree, because if Arsenal were to score that first goal, I would imagine it would be later on in the game in which they've actually kept PSG at bay, because that's how they're going to play. They are not going to take on PSG, because they know the amount of space that they could potentially leave. And then they can talk about Gabriel, they can talk with Saliba, they can talk about whatever, but Arsenal do have a lot of space on those wings that those PSG players will look to exploit, and I guarantee they will.
Yeah, set pieces as well.
That's what I was going to say. Spurs went 2-0 up against PSG in the Super Cup final.
Yeah,
conceded 2 set piece goals, didn't they? Like if Arsenal managed to go 2-0 up, PSG don't have a chance. I don't think Arteta's bringing out the nastiest block of all.
My God, man!
Those set pieces though, we should have exploited them so much more from it. We didn't do it enough.
Well, even Bayern scored. Was it 1 or 2? Upamecano scored, didn't he?
Yeah, they scored.
Yeah,
header. Yeah.
Especially considering how good we've been from set pieces. But Morley, I actually wanted to get your thoughts on this, because we kind of had it a couple of weeks ago, we were discussing it. But do you think that, sort of a layered question, do you think if Van Dijk goes into that Arsenal defence, Arsenal have won the league by now? And do you think that Van Dijk in his current form is better than Gabriel and Saliba in their current form right now?
Yes, to both questions. 100%. 100%. Like, I mean... in terms, the first question I think is an absolute fact. I think the second one is too, but I think you'd have a lot of people disagree with it. Obviously, Arsenal fans wouldn't agree with it, but I think it's the fact that Van Dijk has had such little cover, especially this season, kind of around him, kind of what's in front of him, is kind of why he's looked, so much worse than maybe he would have in previous seasons. He's not been as bad as what people say, because it's just that he's so good, and it's the standards that he's made for himself over the last number of years, is that anything happens with Virgil van Dijk and it blows up everywhere. That just shows how good he is. But I mean, if he's in that Arsenal team at the moment, or if he is an Arsenal player at the moment, he absolutely walks into that partnership. He's better than both. I don't care what people say as well. It's because if you look at, I think especially this season compared to last season, I think in terms of defensively how we kind of looked, we did look kind of shaky at times as well last season, but I think Slot has lost the plot completely defensively, well, in a lot of other ways, but especially defensively this season. And whereas Gabriel and Saliba, they know their jobs. They play in this big defensive structure anyways. That makes them look so much better. Then they can put up these numbers that they conceded this amount of goals or whatever. Whereas Van Dijk, so often in the past, it was because of him and him individually, whether it was last ditch, whether it was whatever. He was the main reason. He was the guy in which made everybody else better around him. Whereas if you look at the likes of Gabriel Saliba, you look at Arsenal's back four, you look at even what they have in midfield, they basically play about 6 defenders on the pitch. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, your defenders are going to look good, especially in a defensive system as well. Yeah, Van Dijk doesn't even deserve to be mentioned do not deserve to be mentioned with Virgil van Dijk's name. 100%.
That's gonna come though. If they win the league but lose the Champions League, I can see it already. They're loading up some nasty agendas, and
Arteta better than Klopp.
Yeah, no, they'll do all of that.
We'll see that. Yeah, we will see that.
Yeah. That Gabriel performance, I did think he was good overall, but I just can't deal with these fouls that he buys. Like
he's so overprotected. He's so overprotected.
He does them every game though, and they haven't even worked in some games. Like, you know, those ones. Did that Spurs one get disallowed? Where was Colin Mawani
was lucky,
but he does that so many times. He did it another time this season. I can't remember who against, but they conceded from it anyway. But yeah, he's just always at the scene of everything. He should have conceded not two penalties. Calafiori was one of them, but he draws a foul for that, doesn't he? That wasn't a foul. If anything, he kicks the lad mid-air, doesn't he? And then Calafiori, how did they check that? And then just go,
genuinely, like I couldn't believe it. Like as you say, Liam, he gets away with murder. Like I mean, a lot of them do in that Arsenal team, but they're the first fan base as well to talk about PGMOL and this and that, whatever. They've got so much in their favor this season, so much. It's genuinely ridiculous. You won't hear them say that though.
Yeah, 100%. Cop reviews. Thanks for the comment, mate. If we buy well this summer and Slot starts the season well, is there any way back for Slot with the fans, you guys, or is his time up now and always? I think that's a good segment into Liverpool this season. Interesting to know your thoughts on the season as a whole, Jonathan. I mean, it's been a disaster from start to finish, but don't hold back. Tell us what you think.
Don't hold back.
I mean, look, it's I'm 28. It's been and it might sound harsh, it has been the worst season that I have witnessed as a Liverpool fan. It has. And look, I know people can talk about league position, people can talk about Roy Hodgson and things as bad as that, but in terms of a footballing standpoint, in terms of style of what we actually watch, in terms of actually watching Liverpool by an absolute country mile, the worst ever. You also, just to go into that, have been watching this for such a long time, but then seeing a refusal to actually change anything, and that has kind of made it more frustrating and even worse than it actually is. I mean, to lose 19 games in one season is absolutely incredible. For the talent, like it is, but for the talent that was brought in last summer to actually watch this Liverpool, honestly, we've been unrecognizable. We've been absolutely unrecognizable. And it does hurt. It does hurt that you get so much more enjoyment out of watching other games than you do Liverpool now. And even when we win, it doesn't feel the same. I don't think I've ever felt so disassociated or so disenfranchised from Liverpool in my entire life, and I just know that won't actually return until the change that should have been made months ago actually happens.
Yeah,
it's about expectation too, isn't it? Like when you talk about the worst Liverpool season, like I don't know what you lot thought at the start of the season, but after we had that summer, even after we won the title last season before the summer, it really felt like this was a period where we could dominate. We could do maybe not for 7-8 years like City did, but certainly for the next 3-4 years. We get the summer right. Obviously, there were already links with Isak and things like that. We could go on to dominate English football for the next 3 to 4 years. And what's happened, what we've seen this season from what we thought we might see at the start of the season, they couldn't be more far apart, could they?
Yeah.
No.
Expectation. That's a good point as well, Liam. That's a good point. I mean, I should have mentioned that too, to go from champions and then you talk about expectation, you talk about the summer that we have to this, it makes it even worse. Somehow it's already like the worst ever, but even worse than that.
It's so apathetic, isn't it? Like you're right. Even when you get what should be a massive high, say the game against Everton, I find myself not even celebrating the winner away at your rivals. It's just like because we didn't play great in that game, and then you're trying to be positive about it. But yeah, things 100% need to change, and we haven't got Jamie here this week to play devil's advocate.
Yeah.
Oh, now it's so good. It feels like not good that Jamie's not here, but it feels good that the biggest Arne Slot defender ever isn't here right now. It feels like when you have the main teacher in and the sub teachers come in, that's what it feels like. You're gonna just act up for a little bit.
Maybe he's with Slot now.
He probably is. He probably is. I want to just pull up that question that Cop Review said that it's been something that's kind of been on my mind. Is there any way back for Slot? And I had to play with this thought for a while. Is there a way back? Do I kind of just scrap the negativity of the season going into it? But I actually think I've hit the point now where I don't think I can. I don't think I can actually let go of this whole season. One huge point for me that kind of always just drums a bell in my head, and I feel like it's a bit probably more personal for Morley, but like that Palace game and dunking us out of the cup because he just didn't care. Doing that to match-going fans, and the things he's done to the academy players this year, and the things he said, and the chucking players under the bus, the behind the scenes. I think he's just fully lost me now, to the point where I said it last week, but I can't wait for him to go. I'll genuinely celebrate it so much. He's lost me. He's lost me altogether. I don't see a world where he turns it around, and I think Liverpool will just be wasting their time, but wasting every single match-going fan's time by having him there any longer than past this season.
Yeah, I mean, like, but you look at last summer, and then you talk about the money that he was given. Why would he be given any more money? Like, why would he be given any more money? I mean, we have been gifted with world-class players coming to Liverpool last summer. Have you ever seen them look as bad in their career? Have you ever seen Alexander Isak look as bad in his career? Have you ever seen Florian Wirtz, one of the best youngsters in the world, by the way, before he came to Liverpool, look as bad in his career? Like, you know, it's somebody like even the established players have looked a shadow of themselves this season. Lex McAllister, one of the best midfielders in the world last season, whereas he doesn't even look fit now. He doesn't look up to the standard. I mean, I just don't understand about people talking about transfer windows when he was given something that Klopp was never, ever, ever given. And he showed that he couldn't actually use it. He couldn't get the best out of it. He showed that he didn't deserve being given that in the first place. So I don't understand the whole thing about transfer windows and stuff like that. We need this, we need that. It doesn't matter because it comes from the very, very top, and he's proven that he can't do that.
Mm.
From a hypothetical standpoint, though, like if we're going off the question, what does it say? If we buy well this summer and Slot starts the season well, like surely is there not a way back then? Like Brian,
but,
like, obviously.
But like we could win, we could win, but the performances won't be good, Liam. Do you know what I mean? Like
yeah.
Like,
no, obviously,
like as Max says, do you know what I mean?
Jamie.
You know what I mean?
I'm being the hypothetical devil's advocate here. I'm just on about, because it says if we do start the season well, I assume that means performances alongside results. Like you can't, Brian, you can't hate him that much, surely. Like if we go, let's say 7 out of 7 in the league. I know we went 5 out of 5 at the start of the season and it weren't good. Let's say the performances are good. We've gone 7 out of 7 or like unbeaten in 8 or something like that, and we've got good signings. They're looking good. Like surely you've got to then will you switch?
It shouldn't get to that point. It shouldn't get to that point as it is. I mean, I don't know when Slot fully lost you, Jonathan, because I know when I think we done a video after the Man City game, and we were fuming about that. But then we beat Madrid and Villa back to back, and I know I could sense you weren't sure about him there, but you didn't fully go. What game was it that you thought, yeah, this is just done?
It was actually the PSV game. I've been slot out, and that never changed until it actually happens. But there has been periods. There has been like a game or two or something like that or whatever, in which I'd be like, okay, maybe I won't say it, whatever, but just know that this would have to happen for months. Or we would have to have a sustained run of good performances and good form for that to change, you know. And I'm saying months because it's been basically an entire season, if not towards the end of season, of just awfulness. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, it was the PSV game. Obviously, that was after Forest. You have PSV and Forest go to Anfield and beat us 7-1 over 2 games. You know, you talk about Newcastle as well, who played PSV later on that Champions League and absolutely battered them. It's just stuff like this can't happen, and that's kind of when the change should have been made. And I think what makes it even more frustrating is that Xabi Alonso's been there for a while and nothing has been done in regards to bringing him in.
Yeah, well, just to add on to that question, I want to see what Morley thinks in this. I think I've asked you boys already, but if we missed out on Alonso and we kept Slot, obviously I still think that's the wrong decision. But if it meant we got Luis Enrique at the end of it all, would you be happy enough with that? If someone said the devil appears right now in front of you and says, this is the deal you have to make, you have to deal with another 6 to 12 months of slop, but you get Enrique at the end of it, or you get Alonso in the next 3 weeks, what would you take?
I think it's a great question, but I think it's a highly unlikely one, just purely because I don't think I'm not even sure Enrique manages in the Premier League. I've always kind of seen it that when Pep goes, I could maybe see Enrique at Manchester City. That's kind of something that's kind of maybe when you put 2 and 2 together seems like what could potentially happen. But I don't. It's such a hypothetical, and it's probably something that's so unlikely. Like it depends. If you were to say like, 6 more months of slot, and then get like Enrique, where you're guaranteed to get Enrique, I'd say, yeah, I'd say like, I'll go through the torture for another 6 months. Do you know what I mean? But look, obviously, Shabby was one of my favorite players growing up. He was a real hero of mine for Liverpool Football Club in terms of actually, kind of the status he has at the club. He's already a better fit. He already knows what, he already understands the club. There'd already be a great connection between him and the fans. And I think it is, Liverpool need a big lift now. He comes in and that instantly happens because Slot doesn't act like a Liverpool manager. He doesn't talk like a Liverpool manager. Brian, you were saying it there. It's just not a good fit. It's not a good marriage. You talk about Klopp and you talk about Liverpool was the perfect marriage. Granted, obviously we wouldn't have been saying this last season, but you have to give it time as well and see actually how it sits, see if that can actually sustain, and it's went completely the opposite way this season.
Yeah, for sure. There is some Ajax links at the moment. I'm not sure if you guys have seen that.
Ajax saving football.
Yeah, I don't know how reliable they are either. I'm not too sure, but I think we're all praying that some changes is definitely made in the summer because honestly, I'll just go into next season. If he is the coach and we've spent more money, then it will just be like Brendan Rodgers 2.0. I've said that for quite some time. And then by the time you sack him, who will be available? That is the issue for me.
It's a football thing, though, isn't it, Max? Like, it's even just something as simple as football. We're Liverpool. We play good football. We would never, I suppose, kind of that's a big reason about Arsenal and stuff like that. We would never play like that. We would never play like that because, we're far too great for that. You just want to see Liverpool play good football. If Liverpool had the season that we had this season, actually play good football. Actually, there were some positives there. I don't think it would be as bad, but it's from a footballing perspective. You talk about the Everton game, you win that. We're so bad, though. Why are you so happy about it? Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? That's just what I'm saying. Like, you just want to see Liverpool play good football. Simple as that.
You don't feel like you're on a journey to anything. Like, even under Klopp, we had some poor seasons early on, but you always felt like, all right, if you can just get that defense sorted, the attack is so good. You can see us evolving and improving. We're actually getting worse. Yeah. There's no doubt about it. We're getting worse the longer he's in the job, which is it's mental.
Worrying. Everything's getting worse. Like we've talked about players' fitness. Like you see how many players are missing training this week. By the way, I agree with everything that you have all said there, and I want to preface this by saying I do want Slot gone. I do want to talk about this comment though, because Brian pulled it up and he did agree with it, and I think it's a really interesting talking point because a lot of people seem to be saying it now. Last season, was it Klopp's title? I disagree personally, but I'd like to hear your perspective.
For me, it wasn't, and now I despise the bloke, so it is, because I'd rather give Jurgen Klopp another title. I'd rather give that title just to Mohamed Salah alone. Take the medal off Slot and give it to Salah. I'm happy enough either way. Look, if we're probably being off the bitterness aside, yeah, it probably is Slot's title. Like, he did convert Gravenberch into that holding midfield role, but other than everything else, it's really hard to give him credit because the only period of time that it was actually good was August to January. After January, it was absolutely shocking. Bottled the cup final, got absolutely played off the park by most teams. We had that Ruben Amorim Manchester United, one of the worst teams in the world at that point as well, come to Anfield and get a 2-2 draw. So there's a lot of really negative performances in there. So I will concede that, yeah, it is very reluctantly Slot's title, but I do think there is a level of the mental sort of side to it that with these players, they all up the level. And Salah did tell Slot, I'm going to play how I want to play. Trust me, I'll win you a title. And that's what he did.
I think you can judge it better over time because coming off the Jurgen Klopp era where we were just such a powerhouse, they clearly had muscle memory of his tactics, and that showed in the first 6 months. But as things have gone on, we're just getting worse and worse. And when a player like Salah basically does one of the best individual seasons you're ever going to see, I mean, even without Salah last season, I don't think we were that good. I think he carried us massively. I think it was the biggest carry job in Premier League history that I've seen.
Yeah. I agree. Like, I mean, we were lucky. Kind of nobody else was good last season. We've been incredibly lucky, I think, this season that the standard, I think, especially, the bigger teams, like the standard, especially this season, like how are we going to qualify for the Champions League, and how is it actually going to be comfortable with how we've played all season? So yeah, we've definitely been lucky. I think what Brian said there, look, Slot does deserve credit, and there was a comment there talking about his tactics. I actually thought tactically last season was quite impressive, and was like, this is actually really, really promising going forward. But I don't know, has it been changes in the summer or whatever, and just can't seem to utilize these players. As I said, when time goes on, more problems will pop up, and you need to find the solutions to them, and he just hasn't been able to find a solution to any. But I think Salah was the biggest reason why we won that title last season. It has to be.
Yeah, PSG traumatized them, man. I think that PSG first leg just changed everything he wanted. He wanted to be like Luis Enrique so bad.
Yeah,
rent free ever since, really. But obviously Salah has fallen off quite a bit this season, as well as McAllister. And we've got a comment here: after the Tchouaméni fight with Valverde, if he considers leaving Madrid, do you guys see him at Liverpool as the McAllister replacement? I mean, we were meant to get him back in, what was it, 22?
22 or 3, I don't know. He rejected. I think he's rejected us twice.
Yeah, I like it.
Rejected us last year. He put a laughing face on something, or he liked the tweet or something where it was like, yeah, I'm not going to Madrid, or I'm not going to Liverpool. Yeah.
You take him.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't mind him. I don't appreciate the fact that he's punching up players in training.
Well, if he can do it to Arne Slot, I'll be happy enough.
maybe if you stop doing that, then I don't think he's a Maka replacement though. Like, I don't think he's like that.
No.
Like mobile 8 that we need. Definitely is a 6. We definitely need a 6. It's been very clear this season, so I wouldn't mind him. Obviously, it depends on the price. I don't know what wages he's on at Madrid either, but clearly he's angry about something, so maybe he does want out.
Yeah, I think he'll leave eventually, but depends on the price for me. What would be a good price that you take him at? 50,
40 million?
60? Yeah.
40, yeah, I wouldn't go above 50.
He's still quite young, isn't he?
Like, what, 23 or something, is he?
Is he? Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe. Shot on it.
Yeah.
I back if Klopp wanted him, I back that he was probably a good player. I think when you look at Klopp and a lot of the signings that he wanted, they've all kind of gone on to be good players, haven't they? So
yeah,
linked with
he had so few misses, but he had so few misses, didn't he? Sorry, Lee.
That's all right.
No, in terms of Klopp, he had so few misses. He was just unbelievable. Sorry, Liam, go on.
No, but apart from Nunes didn't hit with.
Few.
Yeah, exactly.
Arthur Mello.
Yeah,
he was a hit.
Linked with another Monaco number 6 right now, though, currently. Tchouaméni came from Monaco, didn't he? I think.
Yeah.
So we got Fabinho. We were linked to Tchouaméni. Now we're linked to that Lamine Camara.
Pogba.
At Monaco. Pogba. I wish, mate. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, Camara. I haven't seen much of him.
No, neither have I. Apart from, you know what I mean, I don't watch Liga on the right. We're linked to a couple Liga number 6s though, so it is quite promising that we're looking to strengthen in that position, because it's clear that's been one of the biggest weaknesses this season, hasn't it?
Yeah, 100%. I guess we'll move on to talking about Chelsea, because we are playing them in a couple of days. Saturday early kickoff. But if you guys saw all of the injuries in training, it's not looking good, man. No Isak, no Salah, no Alisson, even Konate and Wirtz. I don't think we're a part of it. So, I mean, what are we going to do for this one?
Sorry to cut off some news just there. I was just saying Ben Jacobs said he's pretty sure Curtis Jones leaves in the summer.
Yeah, I think that was nailed on anyway. But what they're saying is that if the amount of incomings in midfield depend on the number of outgoings. So I imagine it'll probably two out, 2 in. So you get McAllister and Jones out, and then Wharton. I think we're definitely signing Wharton, aren't we? And then it's just about what other player are we signing next to him. But yeah, in terms of the players we have out, I don't know. We talked about the United game, like what could Slot really do different? Maybe there was like one change he could have made. I don't know. Like, surely the team picks itself this time around.
Yeah, I mean, if Konate's not there, Gomez comes in for him, I assume.
And then he can't play at right back, so then it's got to be
Jones
either
or
Jones or Frimpong. But then
I know
Wirtz
I'm not seeing Frimpong at right wing. I'm not doing it.
That's what I mean. But then if Wirtz is in the midfield, then you've got to put Jones in midfield. So then it can only be Frimpong at right back. But then who's on the right wing? Like, well, I'm sure we'll discuss the lineup in a minute, but it's difficult.
Careful how you say Frimpong, Max.
Yeah, it's not looking good. But I must say, at least we're not playing a team that's in form. They're on form. They're actually the worst in the league right now, Chelsea. I don't know if any of you saw the Forest game, but they were absolutely terrible. And to me, I don't really care who we're putting out there in our lineup. If we don't win, it's embarrassing.
Arguably more embarrassing than that Spurs game.
Yeah, it'd be much more embarrassing. So you can just guarantee it's a 1-0 Chelsea win at Anfield to get themselves back into the Champions League race.
Oh no, they're not going to get anywhere near it, even with a win.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if they took points off us, to be fair.
Oh, 100%. I'm not going into this game with a lot of confidence. What have they lost? Like 6 on the bounce?
Yeah. Scored 1 goal, is it? 1 goal, yeah.
Really? And obviously they've got that assistant manager, don't they? So he's clearly underqualified. It'll just be vibes. I reckon surely they'll just go out and just try and play against us, which should play into our hands, really, but
could be a 0-0 stink fest.
I was going to say high. I was going to go the other way. I was going to go.
Both defenses is shit, but I mean, do you remember 22-23 both games?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
They were so bad. It could be
El Shitico.
Yeah, it could be that.
If it's 0-0, it'd be so on brand, wouldn't it?
It really would.
That was the game. Was it just after Graham Potter got sacked, and that was it Bruno Salto or something maybe?
Brighton right back.
Yeah, he took charge and it was like 0-0. I remember Jordan Henderson missed a sitter in that game, I think.
Yeah, no, both games were literally shocking.
That was Mudrik's first game as well, was it?
Oh, was it? When he came off the bench?
And he looked
one.
Wow.
Yeah, the Anfield one. Yeah, he looked so good when he came off the bench. He was like, "Oh, this guy's going to be proper." And
he's been banned for 4 years there the other day. I seen 4 years added on to his suspension.
Yeah,
added on, or like that was just like I thought he'd
just
already
added on
like 2 years of it.
Yeah, it's rough.
No, he's done 2. He got 4 more.
Rough for him, man. But from a Liverpool perspective, do you guys think this is like a must win? Like, do you think we can actually still fumble Champions League? Because if we lose this one, I think we go to Villa. Yeah. After that,
they might need a win.
Yeah, Bournemouth are in great form right now.
That's what I mean.
There is a chance we could bottle it.
We need 4 points, don't we? Like, obviously, it's not guaranteed that Bournemouth or whoever are behind us catch up to us, but theoretically, if they go and win their games, we'll still need 4 points. And, looking at our last 3 fixtures, this is probably one, because Brentford will be competing for Europe on the final day. They'll come to Anfield really needing a win, probably. And then Villa potentially might need a win. If they get knocked out tonight, isn't it? They play Forest tonight, 1-0 down.
Yeah.
If they get knocked out there, they'll be looking at the Premier League. So this one should be the one where we go and win, really, and then really just cement ourselves in the Champions League spots. But not confident at all.
We just need Villa to win, realistically. If they win tonight, I think Champions League's guaranteed, because if they win the Europa League, that's 6th place getting it as well. There's no way we're finishing 7th. So you'd have to imagine. It depends on tonight, but
you don't know what Arne Slot's capable of, mate.
Villa were absolutely terrible against Spurs last week. Yeah, that was one of the worst.
I predicted Spurs to win. Like, Villa have been so poor for so long now.
Yeah, they've been dropping down. Well, even when they were performing, like, not to be that XG guy, but they were just scoring like unbelievable goals, weren't they? Like Morgan Rogers was bringing out long shots every single week. So I don't think they were about the season.
Yeah.
You lost your bet, Liam, with that fella. He said they'd finish outside the top 4, and you said they'd.
Oh, he said they'd finish bottom half. He said they'd finish bottom.
Really?
Half. Yeah, and I said not a chance. It was when they were like 2nd in the league. I had a bet with someone, lads. When Villa were like 2nd in the league, he was like, no, for this second half of the season they're going to finish bottom half of the Premier League, and I was like, no, they're not. That was the easiest bet of my life. Anyways, yeah, Chelsea, you talk about Villa being poor against Spurs. Chelsea against that 2nd string Forest team. It was a completely rotated Forest team, and they still got thumped 3-0. They got some, I don't know if Sanchez will be playing. Didn't Sanchez get
No, he's out. That's confirmed today.
And
Jorgensen will be in goal.
And that, what's his name? The young lad. Was it Derry or something? Did you boys see that?
Yeah, it was nasty collision. He looked like he looked like their best player.
He looked quite promising.
Yeah.
Hopefully Garnacho plays because we should have a bigger chance.
Him and Neto are out, unfortunately.
Oh, they are. Who have they got then?
Well, Palmer will be on the right.
Esteval fit? Esteval, Palmer.
Palmer. We could bring up that conversation from last night, will we?
What was the? Oh yeah, he is falling off massively, isn't he?
Yeah.
I feel like you were agreeing with Max. I feel like in your messages, you weren't feeling much of what Liam was saying.
Well, I like Palmer as a player, but I do think it's kind of spooky. Like a year has gone by now, and he's been really quite bad.
His best season came out on the right, though, didn't it? And now I think they've just tried to shoehorn him into the 10, but I think he clearly is a right winger. I think like every time that I watch him, though, obviously his output has declined so much, but every time I watch him, he's still like the best player on the pitch, in my opinion, in terms of like what he actually does with the ball.
Technically, he's a very good footballer. But washed up La Liga midfielder. That's what I said in my video. I actually think it's true. I think he needs surgery. I don't know if he's still got this injury problem.
Oh yeah, he's been carrying that all season, hasn't he?
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if he turned up and played really well against us on Saturday because he's got that in him.
100%.
We should be beating these guys regardless. Whatever team they put out, I don't care. We should be winning.
Who else have they got out then? Is Reece James fit?
No, he's
been on the bench, isn't he?
Colwell's back now, isn't he?
Where he came on recently.
Oh yeah, I think he might have came on actually.
Yeah,
I'm hoping it's Gusto because he's crap at defending. If we can get Rio, obviously Rio might not start, but if we can get Rio at Gusto, then we could have a big chance. Should we do some lineups?
Yeah, do you want to get into the lineup then? Obviously, we'll start.
Goalkeeper's a difficult one because none of them have trained, have they?
Not even Woodman.
Yeah, Woodman has, but is he a goalkeeper?
Well, I think it's going to be Woodman, isn't it?
Yeah,
Woodman in goal. Right back.
Right back, it's got please. It has to be Frimpong. We can't see right.
It should be. No, can't see him at right wing anymore. It clearly doesn't work.
No, that's painful. Frimpong right back.
You'll have to tell us, Marley. You're his best mate.
I wish I knew. I wish I was, and I wish I knew. But it was pretty cool to see him outside Anfield that one time. Nice guy, really nice guy. I was only talking to him for like 30 seconds or something. He was stuck in traffic, but I think he's a good player. He's just don't play him that far up the pitch. Simple as that.
Max disagrees.
No, I think he's a decent.
Max is a Frimpong hater now.
No, it's just that United performance has genuinely scarred me. That was so bad.
See that video of it's like that TikTok sound of like Sabo getting the ball in midfield, and it's like
Jamie mentioned that as well.
Yeah, it was so good. It was like, I got this guy on my right, I got this guy on the left. It's just like, oh fuck it, I'll just go on and do it myself. Yeah, and he was right. He was like definitely thinking that too. Sabo's like, it's just like, I'll just do it myself.
Yeah. No, neither of them made very good runs. But yeah, as centre back, do we know like this? Why isn't Canate training? Did that come out?
I didn't even see that. I'll be real.
I think they were doing like individual work, so maybe it's just a precautionary thing. Him and Wirtz, they'll probably both start still. Obviously, it will be Canate and Van Dijk if he's fit, but if not, I assume Gomez will just come in for him. He's been on the bench.
Yeah, I can't think of. There's nobody else really, is there?
Nice, rough. That bench last week kind of said it all.
Gomez, Van Dijk, and then Kirkes left back, but
we need to get on. We need to get Morley's opinion on the left back debate.
All right, every week we go around in circles.
Well, like Kirkes or Robbo.
Yeah.
Like, what's the question? Who do I think should start now, or who do I think is better now, or?
What have you made of Kirkes this season, and has Robertson been underplayed in your opinion?
Yeah, I think Robbo's definitely been underplayed, 100%. I don't think Kirkes has shown the level of somebody that deserves to has started as much as he has. I do like Kirkes. I do think he's a good player. I do think if he's utilized correctly and under a better manager, he will show more of kind of what he's shown last season with Bournemouth. But yeah, I mean, when Robbo has played, I feel like he's been mostly better. I think there was a couple of months there in which I felt Kirkes was quite all right, but I think it's kind of went the other way again. Look, Robbo can be a very good protege for Kirkes. we haven't really seen that this season. I feel like if Kirk has kind of sat more, then we might have seen a better level of him when he actually played. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to disagree with that, but
it's valid. So who would you start in this game then? Brian, you're with Kirk. Kirk has had some injury problems.
Yeah, he's not been training as much either.
See, I would go, if it was just 10 games ago, I probably would have went Kirkes, based off the last game. But to be honest, I think he will play Robertson just based on the fact that it's the whole sentimentality of he only has 3 games left at Liverpool. This is second last one at Anfield. He probably does play more than likely. But again, if he wants to really go at that Chelsea team, he might just go with Kirkes.
Yeah, I think you have to. If you have Kirkes and Frimpong attacking from fullbacks, you're going to need something from deep, aren't you? Especially if Salah's not playing, Wirtz isn't playing. You're going to need some sort of quality to help the attackers up the pitch, because we don't have much up there, do we?
No, not at all. Midfield, I mean, I assume Gravenberch will play.
McAllister has to be dropped, surely. Surely you go Jones and Gravenberch.
Yeah, I would go with them too, and then maybe Szoboszlai and Wirtz ahead of them in the double 10. And then Gakpo on the left, Rio on the right. That's what I'd do. I think Rio literally has to start this game.
Yeah, Rio has to start. Yeah, true.
He'll be up against Cucurella as well if you play him on the right, and that's a good test for him, because I do rate Cucurella 1v1 defending quite a lot, and I think we've seen Rio can do bits over on either flank, really. I think it's a good game to put him in there. It's a home game. It's not like he's going to Old Trafford where, you need experience. Not much pressure on this game. So I'd play Rio 100%. Don't know what you guys think.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'd have him on the right. Like I said, if Gusto starts at right back, I think you definitely get Rio at left back. And also, I think we saw Rio's, inexperienced last game at Old Trafford in terms of Shaw going the other way, and Cucurella's been a massive part of Chelsea's whole game plan in the last couple of years. Getting behind Salah. Maybe they'll try something different this time, but he is good at going forward, and he's quite relentless, isn't he? Like, he'll just keep running. So yeah, you could go Szoboszlai on the right with Wirtz in the 10, Rio left, and then Gakpo up front
through the middle.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing Sabo on the front three. I wouldn't mind seeing Sabo in the front three.
Yeah,
just something different. But we would struggle in midfield then, probably.
He had a few cameos on the right wing in, when was it? December, maybe?
Yeah, it was a while ago now, yeah.
Yeah, and he did all right there. That was during our really good unbeaten run, wasn't it? So, you know what? I saw a stat. I saw a stat earlier. The last time Liverpool lost a Premier League game at Anfield in the month of May was 2015, which is pretty mad stat, to be fair. So hopefully Slot doesn't break another record.
We haven't lost a game in May.
In May?
We haven't lost a game in May at Anfield since Palace. Palace beat us 3-1. I don't know if it was...
That was Gerrard's last game.
Was it?
Yeah. Stevie G. Yeah.
So hopefully Slot doesn't break.
That can't be true, is it?
To be fair, it might be. We didn't last season anyway. If you think back to last season, even though how bad we were.
There's probably only
we lost against Palace. Oh wait, was that April?
That was April.
I was at that game. That was April. That was towards the end of April, I think.
Yeah, I was there too, actually. But
yeah, it was a tough watch. That.
What game was that versus Palace?
We lost 1-0. Yeah.
And Curtis Jones second half misses a complete sitter.
Yeah,
you've got
an open goal.
That was painful.
Carroll pretty bad too.
There was a Palace game in 16-17 that we lost near the end of the season as well. I think it was Benteke.
That was April 12th, I think, actually.
Was that where Sako and Benteke started doing handshakes against?
Yeah. I think Coutinho scored a worldie that game as well. But I think we have actually looked better when Gakpo's been up top in recent weeks. So maybe that is the way to go. Get Rio on the left, attacking Gusto and Szoboszlai on the right. Wherever you play Szoboszlai, you're going to get a good performance from him, aren't you? Really, that's the thing. But
he could
play right
maybe he'll be shoehorned back to right back.
If Woodman gets injured, we can throw him and go.
He'll probably do a good job there, man.
Probably would. He's just so good, man.
We're getting to some predictions. What do you boys think about? What do you think the score's going to be?
like I said, I think I can see high scoring just because Chelsea really have nothing to play for. Assistant manager, surely it's not like he's fighting for his job, is it? Like he's not going to get the permanent job. They seem to do quite well. Maybe I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. They seem to do quite well against the bigger teams, though. No. Whereas, like, at least they're closer, a bit more competitive. You think about the games against Arsenal this season. Like, I don't think Arsenal didn't turn them over this season, did they? Those Carabao Cup
of course they beat us at Stamford Bridge as well, of course.
Yeah, and they stayed
such a
in
jammy
it.
win that was.
Yeah,
they stayed in it at the Etihad, didn't they? Under that manager.
They did 1-1. Yeah,
what was his name? McFarlane or something like that.
McFarlane.
Yeah, I'm fair.
Yeah, Callum.
Yeah, they got a draw.
From Family Guy. Yeah.
1-1. Yeah. So what's your result then, Liam?
I'm gonna go. You know me. I'm gonna go with a win somehow. I'm gonna go 3-2. 3-2 Liverpool.
Mr. Optimism.
Interesting. Brian?
I'm gonna say a 1-1 draw.
Morley?
I'm in the middle of both of those. I think if one team is more likely to win, it's Liverpool, but I think there will be a few goals. Liverpool might nick it, but I'm going to go 2-2.
2-2. Okay, score
Max.
draw. I'm actually going to predict a Liverpool win. I think 2-1 Liverpool.
Yes!
I think Chelsea have been so bad. I think both teams are shit.
They have. It's just though typical. We make them look good though, isn't it? On Sunday, it's like Spurs. It's like haven't won a game all season. Like they could have beaten us. They were the better team that game. It's just typical, isn't it? We make them look good somehow.
Yeah,
and they'll be looking at us 100%. Go on, Max.
It's just an early kickoff. Maybe the vibes will be a bit,
I didn't even consider that.
Yeah.
I was going to say they'll be looking at us as well, like as bad as they have been. Like it's just an opportunity to hurt us. We'll probably, despite how bad they've been, we'll get overrun in midfield. They've got Enzo. I think Lavia's back now as well, isn't he? Lavia always seems to turn up just for the Liverpool games. I feel like he plays.
It's like Kante. He has that Kante gene.
And he's always shit against anyone else. Whenever I've seen him for Chelsea, really.
A blinder against us. But and they've got Caicedo. We'll definitely get overrun in midfield, I think. So there's and João Pedro's flying at the minute, isn't he? Yeah. So there's definitely an opportunity for them to hurt us. But they don't have much on the wings, do they? That's what we want.
I didn't think of that midfield battle, actually. Yeah, I mean, they're going to crush us in midfield. How many times have we seen that this season? That the game just bypasses us in midfield. Like you talk, like think of that midfield up against ours and how ours has been for so long. Like wow, yeah. I mean, Chelsea could win that game. To be honest, like I don't think that. I don't think. Don't get me wrong. I don't think they will, but yeah, I just think it's one of those. Is that I mean. Look, I mean, we'll rely on, as always, like maybe Rio to do something or Sabo or something like that. And I could see a few goals, but I don't know. We just don't know what's going to happen, don't we? But I think a draw or something like that or a narrow Liverpool win. But I'll stick with 2-2. It's just a pity that it's like little or no jeopardy going into the last few games. It's just no buzz. You don't feel excited for them. Do you know what I mean?
Just end the season now.
It might as well be over, man. There's not much more to be excited about this season. But before we end the stream, I think Brian had a few quick-fire questions for Morley. If you want to chuck them out.
Yeah, let me know when you're ready, Morley. I'll give you some very interesting quick-fire questions.
Are these like yes or no, man, or?
Yes or no, but you do have to think of some of the answers, to be fair. Well, actually, I don't even think there is a yes or no question. But they're all Liverpool related.
They're opinion based.
Yeah.
Okay, I was thinking because I was like, am I going to be put on the spot here?
It's trivia.
You might. Yeah. You can obviously think there are no rules against not thinking for some of them, but just interesting sort of questions, I suppose. But let's get into it. Favorite ever Liverpool player?
Stevie G.
It's a good one.
Nathan as well. Favorite ever Liverpool game?
Really difficult. Wow. Really, really, really difficult. I think from a personal point of view, it might be a bit niche. I say it's a bit niche because people talk about Barcelona, people talk about some other games in the past, but I might say, even though it was a bad game, 2019 Champions League final against Spurs. I think I say it's a bit niche because it wasn't a great game. It was really the 4-0 against Barcelona that what took us there. But I say it just because obviously in 2005 I was only a kid. I remember crying my eyes out at halftime, and Liverpool coming back and somehow winning the Champions League. In 2019, I was living in Madrid. I wasn't at the match, but I was there with all the Liverpool fans. It was just the best day
Incredible. Yeah, that's so good. Worst player to ever play for Liverpool, in your opinion?
Wow.
Oh, that is a great question.
Jeremy Frimpong.
Who comes to mind? It's got to be the first one that pops into your head.
Do you know, there's no players kind of from recent times, especially like Klopp era and that kind of come to mind. There's no players at the moment that come to mind, regardless of what we say about certain players. But I have a few shouts. I have these are a bit niche, but they're from back in the days. Milan Jovanovic comes to mind. Andrei Voronin comes to mind.
We had some shitters, man.
Philip Dagan comes to mind.
Oh yeah,
that's one from back in the days. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think anybody else really apart from those three. Oh, the big baldy, Paul Conchesi comes to mind.
Arthur Melo's a great shout, by the way. Someone said Arthur Melo, Ozan Kabak, like those sort of.
Yeah.
Or Ozan Kabak wasn't that bad. Don't be harsh on the bloke.
To be fair, they were bad, but honestly, Liam, man, I swear they weren't as bad as some of those that I mentioned. Kabak, yeah, he was bad, but not that bad. Who was the other one you said?
Arthur Melo. Arthur Melo was shocking.
He had 10-minute cameo against Napoli.
Yeah, he played very little though, and if you watched him like in other places, he wasn't that bad. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He dapped up Pep on the sideline. We're getting pumped off seat.
Christian Bolton's a great shout. Yeah.
Ali Sissoko as well for me.
Good shout as well.
What do you think? Not to divert the quiz, but what do you think of Balotelli then? You wouldn't pull him up there?
I think he kind of falls into the category of Liverpool players that you look back at and kind of hated, because he had all this quality. We could see kind of that quality that he had at City, and I just think he got that move to Liverpool and he really didn't care. It came out in his performances. I still felt that he could have been helped a little bit more, obviously, with players around him, but he was never really a Liverpool player. El Hadj Diouf as well comes to mind from back in the day.
Rattling them off now.
Yeah, and another player who came to the club and just didn't seem to care. He even spoke badly about Stevie G and that, which is just like the cardinal sin. But yeah, I wouldn't have him as worst. No.
Okay, fair enough. Torres or Suarez?
Luis Suarez. 110%.
No hesitation there.
No, nothing. I love Torres, but I like Luis Suarez, one of my favorite Liverpool players. One of my favorite footballers ever. Luis Suarez is the best player that I've ever seen play for Liverpool.
Yeah, respect. Favorite ever Liverpool kit?
Oh, let's see. It's tough that. So, like, Istanbul has so many memories. Like, when I back in the day as well, when I had that shirt, I had to buy another one a few years later. And then kind of when I overgrew that, then I had to buy another one. So I might say Istanbul, even though 2018 was one that I really, really liked as well. So I'm going to say those two.
Okay, one signing this summer. So you can pick any player, any position, one signing you want Liverpool to get. It doesn't have to make sense logistically, by the way.
It's unbelievably, I mean, both of them unbelievably unrealistic. We should have gave every penny that we had when he was available. Kvaratskhelia, he's my favorite player, I'd say, outside Liverpool. And another one I'd say is Elise. You said I didn't have to be realistic, so I'll just go for those two because they're two of my favorite players outside the club.
And then just four more to go. Alonso or Enrique, if you had to pick one manager?
I think Enrique's better manager, but I love Xabi, obviously, for obvious reasons. I'd say Enrique because he's probably the best in the world alongside Pep, but Alonso would be one I nearly even be happier with, just because, you know, of that personal kind of affection.
Yeah.
And then Mane or Salah, you can pick this one off their legacy, or you can pick it off how much you preferred the player.
There's a right answer here for Ryan.
I absolutely adore both. I think Sadio Mane was the worst. Was the one player that I missed the most that actually left Liverpool. He's the one player that I actually missed the most. I feel like Mane got a ton of credit, but maybe not as much credit as he deserved. I'd say in terms of a player, Salah but at the same time, in terms of love, I completely equal. I absolutely adore both. Two of my favorite Liverpool players ever.
Media trained answer. Liverpool's greatest ever player, in your opinion?
Stevie. Well, Liverpool's greatest ever player, Stevie G. I said Luis Suarez just a minute or two ago. In terms of talent, in terms of ability, Luis Suarez best ever Liverpool player. But in terms of Liverpool's best ever player, without doubt, Stevie G. Obviously, though, like, I'm not old enough to have seen the likes of Kenny and that back in the day.
And last question, and this is a question that we've been trying to figure out for a very long time on the Cop 4. What does Giovanni Van Bronckhorst do?
I don't think anybody knows. I don't think anybody knows. He was at Rangers. He was the Rangers manager there for a while, and I don't think Rangers fans knew what he was trying to do either. So, yeah, it's a strange one. I think maybe we'll find out that one day. I think it's something equivalent to the Bermuda Triangle. Really, nobody knows what's actually going on there.
It's a great way to finish it, I think. That's we could chat all night to you, Morley. Thanks for coming on, mate. We appreciate your time, and hopefully we can get you back on at some point as well.
Absolutely, definitely, lads. Likewise, I've really enjoyed it. I knew I would. Thanks again for having me on, and very best of luck with this. I was saying to you before we actually went live, I was saying I absolutely love to see this idea. 4 absolute top lads, 4 fantastic Liverpool content creators, and I always like to see mates of mine, people I like to well, and I know you're going to absolutely fly with this. Very best of luck.
Cheers, mate.
Thanks so much, Morley. Thank you so much for coming on, man. What a legend.
My pleasure.
Thank you guys for watching the stream. We'll be back on Monday at 7 p.m. for the Chelsea breakdown. Take care, lads. In a bit.
Nice one.
See you later.
Up the Reds.